Director. As the architect behind the European Commission strategy for international cooperation in research and innovation, the global approach, signed in 2021, could you tell us more about the strategy and the key achievements during these last 2 years?
Yes, thank you very much. I will be very pleased to do so. So the global approach to research and innovation is our international cooperation strategy. And with this strategy, we want to be as open as possible to cooperate with the regions and countries outside Europe. And of course, as close as necessary in order also to promote the EU strategic interests. In our cooperation, we want to promote the values, the universal values of research and innovation cooperation. We want to promote a cooperation which is based on those key societal challenges where we can build multilateral alliances, like, for example, in the ocean cooperation, which is a very important cooperation that we have developed with Brazil, for example, with the establishment of the All-Atlantic Research Alliance. And I will be not too long, but in terms of achievements, what I can say 2 years after the launching of this cooperation is that in the changing geopolitical landscape with the crisis that we are seeing in the world, this approach is really valid because it's an approach towards which we partner with those countries and regions with which we want to engage and strengthen our relationship. At the same time, we have the safeguards in order to protect our interests where it is necessary. And I think that this strategy is fit for purpose, and I hope that we can continue to work together with the key partners, such as Brazil, to implement this strategy and move forward together.
Following the recent Joint Steering Committee meeting with Brazil, could you share a little bit of the outcomes of the meeting? How do you perceive this development influencing the cooperation between the EU and Brazil in research and innovation?
Yes, indeed, we had today the 11th meeting of the EU-Brazil Joint Steering Committee under the EU-Brazil Science and Technology Agreement, and that was an important meeting. First of all, because it was the first meeting for a long time in person, and let me say how happy I am to be here in Brasilia and to have been able to meet the counterparts from Itamaraty, from the Ministry of Science and Technology, and from the different agencies. I think the main outcome of the committee today was really to take stock of where we stand in terms of cooperation. We have looked at what we have achieved in important areas, such as, for example, ocean cooperation, such as cooperation in the field of space, in the field of dealing with the key challenges related to the Amazon forest, and also to look at the framework conditions for cooperation. We have an implementing arrangement with the three agencies in Brazil, CONFAP, CNPq and FINESP, that support the participation of Brazilian researchers to the EU Horizon Europe program, and we looked at the way it works and agreed that we should see how to improve, how this can be improved so that more Brazilian researchers can participate in the Horizon Europe program. And last but not least, we have looked at the way forward with enhancing cooperation in key areas, such as, for example, raw materials, advanced materials, bringing cooperation in the field of ocean to a level higher. And also we have spoken a lot about innovation, enhancing our cooperation in the field of innovation, which is also a key element of the G20, for which Brazil, as you know, has the chairmanship now.
You recently hosted the senior official meetings under the EU-CELAC joint initiative. How do you see the role of Brazil under this regional cooperation?
Yes, first of all, I would like to recall that the EU-CELAC common research area, which is what we call our framework cooperation in research and innovation, is based on 4 pillars. First of all, the cooperation for those big societal challenges, global challenges that we have to tackle with research and innovation, such as ocean cooperation, any action related to climate change, and there I said that Brazil has a very important role. Then we have all what is cooperation concerning infrastructures, and Brazil is a key component of the work we are doing on infrastructures. And then we have two other important pillars. One is innovation and the other is mobility. So on innovation, I already mentioned that innovation is important for Brazil. Brazil is the first country in Latin America in terms of innovation, and we would like to further cooperate with Brazil on innovation, also in light of the priority that innovation has in the framework of the G20. And last but not least, mobility. Mobility, it's very important for Brazil. We have, in terms of the participation of Brazil in Horizon Europe, which accounts to 56 projects, almost 40 of them relate to mobility. And when we speak about mobility, it's certainly Brazilian researchers going to Europe, but also European researchers being welcome in Brazilian Institute. And so Brazil has a very important role in mobility. And of course, we think that with this role, it can really act as an example within the CELAC region. And let me conclude that Euraxess has a very important task there in order to promote all the opportunities that exist in terms of researchers' mobility.